to see you. Good to see with you guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we're doing this today because in our world game week starting, so really kind of a Sunday. I think we'll move forward. This will be normally on Monday during the week, but with the weekend coming up, Saturday, Sunday for you guys, so we'll get, kind of get it out of the way. So appreciate you working with us and being here. And like I said, I think the week now be what Jeff, 9 days. We'll do this on Mondays moving forward and all that. Matter of fact, as we get to that point down the road, we'll actually want to do some work for us on Sunday. Monday will be a non-practice day. So we're going to have our kids there in the morning doing some things academically, coaches game planning. You'll have some decent access to kids, at a decent hour with the coaches and myself as we go forward. So thanks for being here. Coming out of preseason, getting wrapped up last night with really kind of a light day. With 7 days out, leading into it. We've done our heavy scrimmage work earlier in the week, and with our last major scrimmage the week before that, doing that kind of make sure we are as healthy as we can be. We got to keep hitting. We got to keep building our toughness and whatnot, tackling, ability to stay on blocks and all those things. But as coaches, we have to manage where we're at. So sometimes you're doing some things in the best interest of your team. So last night we had a scrimmage format. It's more for timing and where do we warm up and when do we warm up. We actually took our guys out that would be our game captains and had the referee explain the coin toss and what he said. So it's a little bit more for the bells and whistles, and maybe it was like it was close scrimmage or trying to show things or not show things. It was quote a mock game where we're scripting situations and whatnot. But coming out of preseason, again, I was very complimentary of our team going through the winter. Our staff and our players did a great job in the recruiting cycle and getting a good class. Our off the field leadership, behavior, academics have been pretty solid, and what you like and what you expect. Spring ball was again pretty good. When it gets very repetitive, mundane, it's not a game. But spring was good. Summer's on your own. We got strength coaches. We had 130 guys here. We're only allowed 105 on our preseason rosters. We had a bunch of new walk-ons wanting to join our team. And those aren't tryouts because as coaches we can't even be here. But our strength coaches were. I would say the way we practice, it looks like we had a really good summer. We're not allowed to know if they passed the conditioning test, because then that means it's not what the rules are. So our teams came back in great shape. We appear to have improved our team with size and strength. And with that, we'll hopefully be as quicker, because I do think there's some hereditary issues of how fast you can be, or how big you can be, or how strong you can be. But we have to develop and get these guys as good as they can be. And I think you'll see a team that's going to show some quickness and better speed. So I think summer appeared to be very, very strong. There was a huge commitment by our school. I think there's been a huge commitment by our kids to take advantage of summer school and our lifting program and whatnot. Preseason, some of you guys had a chance to see a couple of the practices that we had where you were able to get out there and see a lot of it. And I don't know how well you paid attention or what you look at when you're watching it. Those of you that saw those, appreciate you seeing those, and kind of appreciate too the way you cover it, because we're not sitting there trying to get information out to our opponents. Our first two opponents, we are their opener. So every bit of information we're given is going to Terre Haute, it's going to Annapolis. Those other people will get your game tapes and all that stuff. So I do appreciate the way you guys cover it. There's certain things that maybe we don't like, at least, what plays we're really running or who's looking good or not good. So I appreciate the way you guys kind of saw practice. But what you didn't see on the days that you weren't there was probably what you would have saw the day you were there. We had some pretty solid, pretty consistent practices. And I said coming out of spring, I wouldn't want to do over. And we ran some plays wrong. We repeated a play, or maybe we started stretching when they had a little lethargic. We had to holler at them for a second, pick your knees up and get it going. But we didn't have a sluggish practice day. I even had a couple extremely positive comments from scouts being through that they couldn't believe the way we looked and really appreciated the energy of the way the guys were practicing. Again, 2 days is a grind. So again, I think we've had a very productive 2 days. All that's talk until you start playing and the scoreboards reflect that. Now, just because I think we've done better doesn't mean we're going to do better. Today's the first of now game week, changing gears. So it's a little different sense of urgency and preparation, video preparation, getting your body right, getting your mind right. What's your routine? A lot of people call it superstitions, but what is your routine? What do you do? Where do you eat? What pair of socks you like? You name it. Who tapes your ankle? What are you doing to be at your best for those 12, 13, 14 kickoff days? And one of those was approaching at 7:06, coming up on the 29th with Indiana State. But I thought preseason was good. Depth chart, we put it out today. Here's where we are. Again, we're pretty healthy except for the loss of Chase Hoobler, who has a stress fracture. Has not been with us one day of preseason. That'll go through the bulk of the season and will be determined in time. Does it get back at the end? He's a fourth-year kid, been redshirted, so we will take his best interest into it. Always doing well. But the stress fracture is going to take several months, so best to be at the end of the season, and maybe it cost the season. Dan Feeney, with a Liz Frank injury that required surgery, will again take the bulk of the season. That's going to be a 5-month kind of deal that you'll get him back. January as we get started. February probably will be full go by spring. He was a freshman that played. He gets a red shirt here. We're losing a quality player, very good player, but also, again, one of the reasons you do play freshmen, you do have those deals. This will be his red shirt year. We'll move forward with him. That being said, we'll need not just someone to come in and play the guard spot to pick it up, but any time as you go through the season, you're going to have in our sport a little bit of what I call hiccups or glitches along the way, and your team needs to pick up the slack. Coaches and players. It's just not who Dan Feeney's replacement will be, and we'll talk about that. But other than that, we're pretty healthy. We've got a couple guys that have kind of had to monitor some of their practice, whether it be, again, I'm coming off again ankle. We've had no broken bones. Maybe the guy's got his fingers taped together because he's dislocated the finger, grabbing hold of something or whatnot. So we're pretty healthy. We should be at full force, but depending on how much these guys that we've kind of monitored, how much practice work they get will determine how much you see them next Thursday night. So our 2 deep is, starting with the offense. And yet we haven't talked to the quarterbacks yet. So for me to tell you who's going first, I don't know. Don't know if we'll even know until Tuesday, Wednesday. And our routine Tuesday, Wednesday, which is Sunday, Monday, and see how the guys practice. All 3 have done well. The offense will not change. I've said that. And you guys have asked questions. Coach says it's not going to change. We're going to do what we do. Now, certain guys have certain strengths. There's certain things that Ted Bolzer does in route running that's different than Cassar. Certain things that Cody Ladner does that's different than Stoner. Every player has some strengths and weaknesses. But the gist of our offense is going to be what it's going to be. One, we're going to spread it out, and we'll be a little bit more multiple personnel. I think you might see some more multiple personnel groupings because we do have a little bit more depth at tight end, backs, and we're getting a little bit better fullback there. So you might see a little bit more personnel groupings. We'll still work tempo. Tempo doesn't mean we're going fast all the time. We'll use that as we need to. We have the ability to, and we've worked on the ability to even try to go faster. But whether we do, when we do, we don't try to be consistent. No matter what you do, if you do things, you're trying to keep the defensive off guard with play call, formations, where you're attacking them. Same thing with tempo. You don't want to be very, very slow. You don't want to be very, very fast. If you're doing something all the time, you're consistent. And the more consistent you are with what you're doing, the defense can kind of hold in. So you kind of, pick your spots. But we'll continue to use tempo. We'll continue to spread around. What we've tried to do, we've tried to help the defense, but really to help the offense. We've tried to work on the running game and to be a little bit more physical, and not just for short yardage when it's 3rd and 1 or goal line, but just have some balance, some toughness, to incorporate play action passing, whether you're intermediate, deep, moving the pocket, you name it. So we've worked a lot on the running game. Quarterback situation, all 3 of those guys are very, very good, but all a little bit different. And that being said, you guys say that we need to play more than one. Maybe we do because maybe they can do different things for us. At the same time, we're still kind of evaluating because no one's been the guy, no one's been partner. And Trey can make some plays with his feet a little bit better than the other 2 guys. But when he's in, it's not going to be a wildcat offense. We'll throw our deep and intermediate and read our defense and throw our hots and adjust protections, and he's going to play quarterback. And when those other guys are playing, if Cam's in, if Nate's in, it's not going to be a throw-a-thon where it's pass, pass, pass. If it's a play that we need to incorporate the quarterback as a part of the run, we're going to do that. And So again, even though we have a 2 deep, I don't know how many times you're really going to say so-and-so is really the starter. Because I think on both sides of the ball, you're going to see pushing 44 guys. Whether it be 2 or 3 tailbacks, 5 or 6 or 7 receivers, 2 or 3 tight ends, probably 7 or 8 O linemen, 8 pushing 10 D linemen, probably 6, 7 linebackers on the back end, probably 6, 7 in the secondary. So you're going to see some guys playing. We got a little bit better team, we got more depth, we got a lot of competition, we got some proven guys. Practice has been great. We got to prove it out here when the scoreboards, lights are on, the scoreboard's playing. Who's going to make those tackles, and make those shots, and make those blocks, and score those points, and make those kicks when it's for real. So again, quarterback, we'll see how it plays out. Not being coy, not hiding anything from Indiana State. Running back, good camp by all guys. The Ray Smith basically had like some welt on his back, or one thing had to be drained. And he's got he couldn't practice a couple days. We got a wound that's just so it doesn't get infected. So he's full go. And, as a young guy, showed a lot of ability with speed, but again, missing a couple days. It's young guys with the ball, so we'll see where he is. But I'd expect him. Didn't see him a lot if you were looking last night, but it's because he's got basically a wound that had a cut that had to be drained, and so we don't get it's not a major deal. And I think he'll be full tilt here tomorrow afternoon rolling. But I think yesterday with infection and temperature and sweat and whatnot, he wasn't able to go. So again, I don't have an issue there with Ray. Probably some 4 tailbacks, D'Angelo, and of course Tevin and Steven, the two main guys, and both doing really, really well. Talked about Michael Plogle playing some fullback with Matt Zacheski. We're doing our run period every day. That'll be a part of our offense. Has done well. Bolzer, Casaro, really playing better than they've ever played. Danny Friend, very, very talented freshman. Big guy, can catch it, can block for a young man. You'll see all 3 of those cats when we together individually. Special teams, receivers, 7-8. Caleb Cornett getting a little bit mix on special team and getting into receivers 7 or 8, which you want to see. Mitchell Page, a young walk-on, second-year guy. Receiver 7-8, getting in the mix. It's a quick little kid. It's awesome. But the main guys will be Wynn, Roundtree, Rick Jones at the slot. 3 good players there. Outside, Cody, Luis, Stoner, and Kobe Hughes. And so you'll see the bulk of those 7 guys with Cornett and Mitch Page. Offensive line, Luis Feeney, guard. But we still got him. I think we'll be pretty solid there with Bernard Taylor, who has starts. Colin Rard, who has starts. Jake Reed, who thinks doing as well as anyone. David Kaminsky, Jacob Bailey, if came on strong. Ralston Evans has played guard and tackle. Coming off his knee injury during 2 days, we have to monitor some of his workload so his knee doesn't swell. He's probably our most effort lineman we got. And we've actually worked Pete Bachman into the mix to be an extra tackle guard. With Dimitri Camille, Jason Spriggs, a great player. So we're not great at offensive line, but there's a lot of depth and a lot of strength, and it's young, not a senior. Losing a good player, Big Dan up there, but got some depth and got a great line coach. And not only Greg, but Ryan Stanchik does a good job, so I think we'll play rock solid up there. Defensively, you'll see a bunch of D linemen, whether it be the old guys like Richardson, you've seen Alex Todd, Rayner, Phyllis, and Jerry's had a tremendous camp. Zach Shaw has had a really good preseason. Ralph Green, you hadn't seen some in practice, really good preseason. You got Latham and Kenny, the 2 young guys. So you're going to see Jordan Hyder as well. You're going to see 8, 9, 10 of those guys. There's not much separation. I don't know if anybody right now is a legitimate upper-level Big Ten, but the 2s are as good as the 1s, and we need those guys. And Coach Babbers, Coach Pat, they're coaching effort. Those kids will learn how to play hard. I actually think we're going to get better D-line play. No disrespect to a couple really good D-linemen that we lost, but we'll see how it goes. You'll see a bunch of those guys. Linebackers. Cooper's been solid. You saw T.J. Simmons in the spring, going to be a really good freshman player. Lost Hubler outside. Thunderbird was very good in the spring. Flo Harkins came on, much like Mangieri, his best preseason, sticking out, making plays. You'll see some young guys out there. You got Griffin Dahlstrom as well. But you'll see some young guys, whether it be Clyde Newton, Marcus Oliver, T.J. Simmons. You'll see those young freshmen in the mix playing defense. Back in, Antonio Allen came in. He's fighting neck to neck with Heben and Murphy at the safety. You'll see those three guys mainly. Dawson Fletcher's the fourth, but you should see some of Antonio Allen and Heben and Murphy are two of our more veteran players. And on the outside, Tim Bennett's been our best corner. You'll see him in one spot. Probably another spot will be a combination of whether it be Mullins, Michael Hunter, Ryan Thompson, Brian Williams. So that's kind of it there. Kickers, Toth Campos, very competitive but inconsistently competitive. Show kicks as being good, and then the next day I'm off, and the next guy's good. So we need that punter to be a little bit more consistent. We got leg there, it needs to be better. Our kicker has a chance to be a quality player. I think we got some good return guys. And what you'll see if you watch us, it's a sign of maybe being a better team. You'll see enough second-team guys playing on offense and defense that you'll see Cody Latimer covering kicks. Or you'll see Flo Harden on kickoff return. You'll see starters on special teams because they're not playing 80 plays of offense. They're playing 30, 40, 50 plays because they're getting complimented. And hopefully you'll see better special team play because some of our, even a comment from our scout day said, man, you got your players on special teams. And that's being done because we've got depth and we're going to play, quote, more players. And what you have is the depth chart with the first name on everyone on that list. I would anticipate you're going to see 90% of those guys in these first games as we play ball. Okay. Last thing I'll hit with real quick before we go to Indiana State. Captains, we're not going to really vote. We've got our team leaders, our 12 team leaders, and we'll get that in the media release to you with Jeff. We'll rotate around each game between those guys that are our 12 team leaders that we have that monitor our team. Those will be our game captains. They go up for coin tosses. We always vote for captain at the end of the year. Because sometimes as you go through, your year kind of changes, and you want that to be, because that's an honor. It needs to be a huge honor, and that's forever. And we want the captain of the 13 team, which is going to be honored forever to be someone that's the true representative of the season at the end. We have 12 great guys. So you'll see different guys with coin toss for what that's worth. In this day and age, that's all they do is say heads or tails, you take it or convert. The rest of the time they're looking over and you're saying take it or decline it. So it's not like it should. Everybody talks about quarterbacks huddle command. Nobody's in a huddle. They're standing there talking up the line all the time, so it's a little different. Indiana State coming in, Coach Sanford first year. It's always difficult in an opener. You don't know what you got. New staff, you're not sure what you got. No matter what they've done, it's always independent of what you got coming in. So he might have been a guy that didn't run the quarterback a lot, that runs a lot. Never played with tight ends, got a couple good tight ends. Defense, we were always a 4-man front. We don't have enough linemen, we're in 3-man. You know, we used to blitz a lot. Hey, we can't cover. We're not blitzing. Every team's different first year because every coach, you go back to this, one of the hardest games to prepare for. You're looking at this, you know, the special teams guy came from here. The offensive line coordinator came from here. Head coach, it's like you're looking at 12 teams. I mean, it's painful for me. And you're watching guys that you're not even, like, I'm watching some guy, we're never going to see this dude. Who's this number 52? Well, shoot, he plays at some school halfway across the country. So the game planning is a little bit more, you got to be ready for everything, and you better concentrate on yourself and make sure you're ready. So we need to be ready for unbalanced formations. We need to be ready for, like this week, our defense put in blitzes and didn't tell the offense they were doing it because the offense had to adjust. Last night, we did a couple formations the defense had to see because all of a sudden you're going to have to line up and adjust. And we'll probably get the same thing from Navy because, again, in their open, there's always wrinkles that you got early. So, but their offense, you know, led by a great running back, one of the premier players in FCS, one of the premier players in college ball, an NFL player, kid out of our state, was recruited before I got here. He looks like to me as good or better guys we played with, a Big Ten level back, and that's a credit again previously to all their linemen and what they've done in the past. So Shakir Bell is a tremendous player. He is basically the Heisman Trophy type player in that league, that division of football. And again, they, previously, they built that program in the last couple of years, being a top 25 team. Played us last year to a 7-point game. Came in last year to win the game. They'll come in this year to win the game. So it'll be an exciting game for their players. Brand new coaching staff. A lot of ties to state. It'll be a difficult challenge. And it's a team we're not sliding. Again, we're playing this first game early for preparation for the second game. I called Coach Sanford and said, I want to do this. He said, I want to too. And matter of fact, he called me a week later to talk about someone about a job, a recommendation. He said, he called you about playing this game early because you make strides from week 1 to week 2 and you get 2 more practice days with the coaching change and what we're doing. I think it's great for both teams. I hope it'll be great for our fan base. and student body. You know, if it's important to you as a fan, no matter what team you're on, will be here. It ought to be a great little game for this region. And I say it because moving forward by 2016, we will not be allowed to play the new rules. You know, Big Ten is not going to be allowed to play FCS opponents. So again, to me, it's a great opportunity for their team. It's a great opportunity for our fan bases in our region. And again, appreciate your coverage here as media guys and treating both teams with great respect. And again, looking forward to a big week, an opening game, a great challenge from a team that we got a lot of respect for. Questions?
This team, the experience that it has, it's just been a camp that is more crisp than it has been in the past, and how much was kind of confident that it hit somebody else?
It's been a very good camp as far as, again, there was a couple days where you're expecting it to be, you're going to, what we would call as coaches, we're going to pull the team to get a point. And our kids came out with good energy. So again, I just think we're stronger, we're mentally stronger, we're physically stronger, we're more mature physically, mentally. We can practice at a higher level, mentally and physically, and we understand what we expect. And our standard is to be as good as we can be. And to do that, you've got to keep having a practice base. So it's been, now again, you always, I thought last night was a little sluggish in the camp. You kind of get a little tired. We're kind of trying to do some things where we keep the physical presence coming without wearing the team out physically and mentally. So it has been reasonably crisp. And again, I'm excited. I don't know if our team's ready. I'm just excited to see in a game setting how far we've gone. And not to compare scores. Every year it's a different year. So the score could be, significantly different anyway. I'm really excited to see in the game setting, do we play faster, more physical? Do we play more sound? Do we play more complete OD kicking? Can we put it all together? So I'm excited. I think our guys have gotten to like the hitting period. So I think we like, hitting each other. I mean, everybody talking about you're ready to hit someone else. Yeah, I think we've got our team where we don't dislike hitting each other because that's a part of the game. And there's a physical presence you want to have, and we sell that. I think our kids are embracing that. So I don't think we're excited to hit Indiana State. I think we're excited to play a game and see where we start. And no matter where we start, how much we can grow, where can we take these guys by the end of November.
How about the running back position?
Right now, he will be the first one who goes out. And he's a very good player, and he's done as well as I've done, and has consistently from spring, and Steven's not done poorly. I mean, he's a very good player. He's one of those pro scouts coming up, wow, it's a good-looking guy. And I said, that other dude ain't too bad either. So it's just a very healthy, competitive situation. I would expect both of those guys to play about the same, or reps and carries. And we don't sit there and slash them up. I don't know if there's great separation. But I think Tevin's been a little more hungry, a little harder. But Steven's done as well as he's done. So it's not a slight to Steven Houston at all. And so he's an extremely good player. And the other guy has got a chance to be a really good player as well. And right now, consistently playing better. I would have said prior to the setback with the little drainage we had to do for the Ray might have been actually doing better than D'Angelo. So it's just very talented young players. It's a very healthy competition. It's kind of the same thing we have going on at quarterback. Ain't like Steven's done bad. It's close. We just think Tevin right now is going to jog out first. But I'd say they're both, again, that's why I don't say one's beat the other guy out. They're kind of, that's the starting tailbacks. And I guess Tevin will get first dog because he might have been a hair better. But it's a hair.
In the past, we talked about the quarterback. You wanted people to, get the field a little more. Have you gotten more of that this year than you have in the previous 2 years?
Those guys have worked very, very hard. Don't know where they're at right now since I'm here, but I would say they're either watching it on their iPad, video on their own. Typically, during our rest period, when our kids would come up and we would, during our old rest call, we would, in between practice, the mattresses laid out, our kids would take a little nap here instead of driving 10 minutes and coming back. You got a 2-hour, 3-hour break, take a nap here. Those guys would come in and watch tape with the coaches. They'd actually watch practice tape twice. Once with you and once with the receivers. And they were always talking. Hey, I thought I saw this. Why didn't you go here? Well, did you not see what the safety was? Did you not anticipate he was getting ready to do this? Did you see this? Why didn't you do this? What were you thinking? And then they went in and when they're meeting, sometimes they would meet with me. And Coach Johnson would take the quarterbacks. Sometimes we meet together. And now the second time they're watching it, You know, I'm talking about different things, so like, hey, if we ran this play, where would you go? If they're doing this, what is our best runs? If they're doing this, what's our best passes? If they're with the receivers, they're interested, you know, I didn't draw it because I didn't think you were going to be there, and I'm waiting, and I don't have time. So we've had a lot of good, they've worked hard, and we've had a lot of great communication. And we got a lot of trust in those guys. That's why, again, it's not going to go poorly. The offense isn't going to change. Matter of fact, my comment to Coach Luttrell that I was told a long time ago by the two coaches I work most with, one guy said, you call the plays and don't worry about the players. Okay, if you want to do this play, don't say, well, he's in, don't do this. No, that's the play you want you to run the play. And the other guy said, you call plays like you're rolling dice, don't think you're going to hit craps. Roll a good number, be positive, attack, go hit the number. You know, be aggressive in what you're doing. So my thing was, when we went through things, nothing has changed from, okay, Cam's going to run this play. Nate's going to run this play. This is our offense, and this is how we're doing it. Now, we get in there, there'll be probably subtle strengths that get emphasized a smidge more, but the offense is not going to change.
A big emphasis is camp is on stopping the run. Just how big of a test is Shakir Bell, and just how much do you think it could be like a measuring stick for what you have to work on going to the rest of that conference?
It'll be a great test, one, because he's proven they've always been committed to it. The Slavic are used to it. So even though it's a coaching change, that's an environment that was used to running football. And running is more attitude and mindset than the scheme. Stopping the run is the same deal. No matter the coverage, the front, the blocking the scheme, whatever. There's a mindset that says we're going to run, we're going to stop the run. So one, that's going to be a good challenge. And two, moving forward, to be good in this league, we got to play better run defense. So it'll be a nice, here's where we're at. But no matter where it is, we'll need to continue that through the year. Because I always have said, you probably caught on to it, I think you build your toughness through each day, through each week, through the season. And the people we're talking toughness, it's physical plays, running, stopping the run, short yardage offense, short yardage defense, scoring zone. If you play good scores on defense, that means they're not running 1-2-1. If you can score a lot of points, that means you got a little bit of a run game. Because if those spaces get tight in those deals. So to me, it's going to be a great starting point. It's a pure indicator. It'll let us know where we're at. And not just in running game, our whole team. We'll know from week one things we'll need to improve on. Because we'll have the advantage that we have. There's two advantages going in the second week in our world playing Navy. They don't have a game. We don't know what we're doing. We'll also have an advantage of really showing our kids things we need to improve on. So it's going to be a great starting point in Indiana State. And again, whether if we can win 3-2, whatever we do to get a W, we need to get a W. And it needs to be a physical style of play to get a W. And I expect those guys to come in and play a tremendous game. And our whole deal this week now is we work very, very hard. You don't get do-overs in this. Okay? In a lot of sports, there's double headers, home and homes, and tournaments. We work, I showed a clip to our team that day of the guys' comments, you practice a lot more football than you ever play. So the real deal is not just stopping the run or Shakir Bell. It's us playing as good a game as we can to get our first win, because you don't get these games back. And then from there, we'll have great teaching points to emphasize and grow in week 2, 3, 4, and see where we can take these guys.
How important do you think it is to have a good showing just in terms of physicality on both sides of the ball right away? We'll give these guys confidence going into the rest of the non-conference.
Again, you would think, but no matter where it starts, it's going to get better no matter where it is. And so you've got all those games at home, 4 non-conference games. I don't believe you start in mid-season form, but also I think where our program is and our margin for error, I don't think we have the ability to come out and we can be off our game. I mean, because we're good enough to be off, we'll get beat every time we play. So we've got to be on our game. And that's why, again, we have a lot of respect for our opponent, and we will be ready for this game because these guys have worked hard. It's my job, again, to keep the confidence level up, to keep the detailed approach of what we're doing, because these plays are few and right. It takes just a little bit to get off. And if you're a little off, you can get beat. You can look very marginal O&D. You can get beat each and every Saturday. You should chinks, I always talk about, chinks in your armor. You want to come out and show a tight shield and we're good and we're rock solid. So we're not going to play a perfect game. We're not going to be at our best. But we need to have a good start. And it's my job as a coach, because again, margin of error, and we don't get do-overs. We need to come out and get it right.
Did you accomplish what you set out to do in this preseason camp?
Well, I guess one of those we start. This is a good question there. Again, I don't have days I want to do over. you know, and we put a lot of time and thought in the total package. What do you need? We're just got here today. Okay, tomorrow in practice, what are we doing? What are we doing together to help each other? What are we doing apart? What are we doing? Because to me, it's about bringing us together as a team. So it was a lot of individual one-on-one hitting. There was the scrimmage situations we wanted to get us, I think, to the point again. But still, you know, it's different. Where's your ball security? You know, it's a critical part of games. You know, we don't tackle the quarterbacks. Heck, I've seen games in the first game where I've seen the D lineman beat a guy and almost stop because he gets used. So I'm not supposed to tackle the quarterback because you're training for 8 weeks. Don't tackle the guy. You know, and I've seen guys the first week just flat out miss wide open sacks because they can't. You know, it's almost like it's like you're a trained dog. You know, and you're breaking. You know, we always talk about staying off the ground. When you stay off the ground, you start playing high. So when you play high, what's your pad level on 3rd and 1? Short yardage. You can't run the ball. You can't stop the run because you're playing high. Why do we play high? We don't want to get guys on the ground for injuries. You try to play smart, you get bad habits. Those are things as coaches that we're managing. So the real deal, Terry, I think we've got a tremendous preseason. But the real deal will be if we come out and start off looking like a clean, efficient team. There'll be some penalties. There'll always be those little glitches. But we come out and look like a better football team with the energy and the toughness and the execution.
Is this team at this point sort of uniquely prepared to deal with either the multiple quarterback situation? I guess uncertainty. Obviously, the last couple of years you've either had two guys who come back and forth, two guys who played in the games. So this team is sort of used to that, and they sort of prepared through how you guys practice and the games you guys have played. It doesn't really matter to them at this point. They're sort of used to it.
I don't know. I think both these guys are good. I don't. Last year we wouldn't even tell the guy to start. He started. We just go, okay, you go. I mean, we were, you know what? We're just letting them battle, compete, and practice. It wasn't like you're the one. You're both getting game ready. We didn't have a deal. Okay, after 2 drives, put this guy in. We're just going to let it play. And be interesting to go through this week. Again, I've yet to have meetings with those guys as we were. We thought about, hey, should we do it last week? Let's just go through the scrimmage, the mock thing, and we had good practice days on Tuesday, Wednesday. It's not going to really change anything as far as the offense we're running. I don't think it changes our kids. You could ask those guys. To me, because we're going to run an offense, and my run has no effect on me. I think they're all 3 quality leaders. I think they're all 3 respected by their teammates. I don't think there's any favorites. If one of those guys make a bad throw, you'll hear guys getting on them. Come on, man. You know, they make a good play. You hear the guys cheering for them. I mean, I think they look at them like another player. Even though the quarterback gets a lot of notoriety, I mean, to them, I think they like him. So, again, we'll see. And that'll be our job as coaches. I don't anticipate it. You know, I guess it'll be a problem if we don't play well. We're going to do everything we can for what's the best interest of the team and winning games. And when this school's made a commitment, these kids have made a huge commitment. It's our job as coaches. Put the best dudes out there. Make sure you have the right game plan. Make sure you practice the right way. And now let's cross that white line. Let's go play. It's my job to make sure the dude coming out there is giving us the best chance to win. Because at the end of the day, everything we've done is about trying to get us a chance to win. To start fast, play well, to win. And to win as much as we can. And that's all this is about. It's not about favorites or mind games or being coy or motivation. I mean, this is about winning some daggone football games. It's about time we start doing it. Anything else?
Coach, can you talk about just camaraderie and how you feel like he's doing at center and leadership position, filling in for a little man you think over?
That position right there is a little more critical than most people know. Because one, he snaps, he throws the ball more than anyone. So we make some calls, not as many as other teams, because a little bit more tempo, you don't have time to have a conversation. But no matter who your best player is, your center's kind of the leader of the line, kind of sets the tone, and that guy's he's been good. Jake Reed's been awfully good as well. And we got to keep bringing Wes Rogers because we talk about no different quarterback. You need one there because, if you get a little off there, it really affects our timing, what we're doing, catching, throwing the ball on time, what we're doing in the running game. So that is a little bit more critical position as far as him putting the ball on target where a lot of guys can go fast doing their jobs. By the way, how about kicking somebody's butt up there too? So do something very accurate for me. Throw that thing in there perfectly every time. And by the way, this dude about 3 inches away from you, snorting at you, wants to get a hunk of you. How about kicking his butt? So it's a very stressful position. He's done an outstanding job. And Jake Reed is also another quality player. We're actually trying to, it's a critical position for us. We need to keep doing all that. That's why.
Didn't see King Macker out last night, is he injured at all? Was he picked up?
It's a little ding up deal. I mean, I don't think it's a major thing. So again, we anticipate, like I say, the only guys for sure are going to be Hoops and Feeney. Now, I'm not a guy you miss Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we're Patrick and our medical guys. If they can get quality work, they're going to play. But we're not going to miss and show up for Friday work, which us will be Wednesday walkthrough. They come and play. So he's going to need some work. And again, some, he just got a little thing, the rate, there's some small deals where if they're full tilt and they're looking good, they will get their, you'll see them. And if they're limited and can't get as many reps when they're not full tilt, you won't. We'll see how it plays out for him and a couple of those other guys. Should be good. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Good.